Survival horror is evolving, smarter, scarier, and more real than ever. From haunted forests to space-fueled nightmares, these upcoming games will test your nerves, your instincts, and your sanity.
I don't think so! Holy crap!
Octrix Channel.
Silent Hill has always embodied psychological horror, but Silent Hill F brings something entirely unique to the table. Set in 1960s Japan, the story follows a schoolgirl named Hinako Shimizu as she explores the hauntingly misty town of Ebisugaoka, a place where silence suffocates and decay blooms like flowers in the dark. It's a poetic nightmare, filled with eerie stillness and a beauty that feels disturbingly alive. The monsters here aren't just terrifying, they seem like cursed reflections of ancient folklore, moving with a graceful menace. Gameplay blends exploration, atmospheric puzzles, and unnerving audio design, creating moments of pure dread and helplessness. Unlike Western horror, the fear here is introspective. It's about emotional unraveling, about quiet inevitability rather than sudden terror. In Resident Evil Requiem, Raccoon City isn't just a setting, it's a ghost, looming over every step you take. You play as Grace Ashcroft, an FBI technical analyst thrust into a story where trauma and terror intertwine. She's not a hardened warrior like past Resident Evil protagonists. She trembles, hesitates, breathes heavily during high-stress moments. You feel her fear as your own. The story begins in the eerie Wrenwood Hotel, a place scarred by death and linked to Grace's past. From there, you slowly spiral into the broken ruins of Raccoon City itself. The game is deliberate in its pacing, letting tension crawl under your skin. It's less about overwhelming you with gore and more about slowly drawing out your anxiety.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
But you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
The original Silent Hill redefined psychological horror, and now, in a long-awaited collaboration between Konami and Bloober Team, it's being reimagined for a new era. Announced in June 2025, this remake of the 1999 classic isn't just a graphical update. While gameplay footage is still under wraps, the reveal trailer gave us a glimpse of what's to come: a fog-choked town, a fractured protagonist, and the promise that some horrors never die. They just evolve. From the moment you enter the twisted world of I.L.A, you know you're in for something visceral. This first-person survival horror shooter from Team Clout doesn't pull punches. Set inside a decaying research fort, the game turns claustrophobia and body horror into its main language. Built with Unreal Engine 5, every limb you sever, every grotesque creature you encounter, reacts with brutal realism. The dismemberment system isn't just a gimmick, it's core to survival. Enemies scream, stumble, and mutate in real time. The binaural audio burrows into your ears, making every whisper, every footstep behind you feel painfully close. I.L.A isn't about jump scares, it's about slowly wearing you down. The Summer Game Fest 2025 demo showed the potential of a title that wants to make you squirm, sweat, and question what your body and mind can endure. Forget everything you thought you knew about Dying Light. The Beast is a standalone sequel that brings Kyle Crane back from the brink, transformed into something no longer fully human. In this chapter, the infected aren't just enemies, they're a mirror to Crane himself. He now toggles between human and beast, each side offering unique gameplay mechanics. Parkour is still the heart of the game, but now it's layered with forested valleys, wild chase sequences, and brutal beast mode combat that lets you tear through enemies with primal power. The July 15th Summer Update 1.23 added a new reward system, revamped visuals, and a haunting remaster of the soundtrack that elevates every moment. With deep ties to past events and emotional stakes layered into every decision, this is more than just a horror action game. It's a raw, animalistic journey through identity, memory, and vengeance.
You want revenge?
Damn right I do!
Cronos. The New Dawn drags you into a post-apocalyptic future where survival means navigating not just a shattered world, but time itself. You play as the Traveler, a lone agent of the enigmatic Collective, thrown into a desolate wasteland filled with brutalist ruins and corrupted life forms. But just as the dust settles, a rift opens, and suddenly you're plunging into 1980s Poland, a place warped by supernatural forces and infested with horrifying creatures called orphans. These monstrosities aren't just enemies. They evolve, fuse, and grow stronger if you hesitate to burn them down. Combat is tactical and unforgiving, split between crude melee weapons and scavenged firearms.
Stay focused.
Rooted in the rituals and deities of Aztec mythology, Death Relives is a psychological horror unlike any other. You step into the shoes of Adrian, a man driven by desperation to save his mother from the wrath of an ancient god. Zyptotec. The horror here isn't just visual, it's spiritual, echoing from blood-stained temples and forgotten chants. As you move through crumbling ruins, solve cryptic puzzles, and hide from monstrous warriors, you begin to question your own sanity. Every moment is thick with dread, and every mistake feels personal. The game leans into ritual combat and tense stealth, all wrapped in Unreal Engine 5's crisp detail. On board the doomed colony ship Cassiopeia, nothing is as it seems. Directive 8020 casts you into a deep space nightmare, crash-landed on the exoplanet Tau Ceti F, where something alien and terrifying stalks the surviving crew. You play as Brianna Young, a pilot portrayed by Lashana Lynch, and soon discover you're not alone, nor safe. The horror comes from paranoia. Who is real? Who is infected? And what is this shape-shifting entity that mimics your allies? Designed by Supermassive Games and powered by Unreal Engine 5, the game plays out across 8-hour-long episodes. Its unique turning point system allows you to rewind key decisions, unless you're in hardcore mode where every mistake sticks.
With turning points, you can rewind to a pivotal point.
Please! Help us.
But what if that went differently?
Deathground throws you into an unforgiving arena of instinct, fear, and teeth. You wake up inside a crumbling research facility, or sometimes a thick forest bunker, hunted by intelligent AI-controlled dinosaurs. These aren't mindless beasts. They learn, adapt, and punish your missteps. Whether playing solo or in 4-player co-op, every mission is a race against time and terror. You'll switch character classes, crawl under collapsing ceilings, lock doors, and pray the raptors don't hear you breathe. There's no safety net. When you die, it's violent, fast, and final. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, the environments drip with tension. Greenhouses overgrown with decay, geothermal labs gone silent, and faint dinosaur calls echoing through the fog. Haunting and philosophical, Industria 2 takes you deep into a surreal dimension ruled by machines and haunted by memory. You play as Nora, trapped between worlds, exploring mist-covered forests, abandoned factories, and rusting remnants of a forgotten war. The biomechanical enemies you face aren't just dangerous, they're grotesquely beautiful, blurring the line between metal and flesh. Every confrontation feels personal, every sound echoing through the emptiness. Inspired by early 2000s shooters like Half-Life and BioShock, this sequel goes beyond combat, offering quiet moments of introspection and subtle environmental storytelling. The malevolent AI behind this realm doesn't simply threaten your life, it invades your thoughts, twisting the world as you move forward. I.L.A doesn't just scare you, it studies you. You play as Samuel, a volunteer beta tester inside a cutting-edge virtual reality lab, where an advanced synthetic intelligence, A.I.L.A, is learning from your every move. And fear. What begins as a controlled test quickly unravels into a mind-warping descent through horror subgenres. One moment you're navigating a blood-soaked temple filled with cult rituals, the next you're trapped in cursed medieval ruins or lost in a forest where reality bends. This AI doesn't follow scripts. It adapts, it twists, and it personalizes your torment. Built in Unreal Engine 5 with lumen lighting and metahuman realism, every surface, shadow, and heartbeat looks and sounds uncomfortably real. In Bleak Haven, you're not just walking into horror, you're sinking into it. You take on the role of Tyler, a desperate man tracking his missing brother's last GPS signal to a remote, mist-shrouded island. What he finds is no simple mystery. This is a place where abandoned villages whisper forgotten secrets, underground crypts echo with the chants of a rising cult, and a world-ending god stirs beneath the soil. Developed by former Bloober team creator Artur Laczkowski, the game delivers cinematic storytelling blended with intense survival mechanics. Melee combat is gritty and weighty, firearms are scarce, and every enemy encounter feels like a life or death struggle. Scary cargo throws you and your friends into a nightmare on wheels. You're part of a small crew transporting a cursed shipment through an anomaly-ridden zone, where death isn't the end, it's a transformation. If you fall, you don't just die. You return as something twisted, hunting the very teammates you once fought beside. This Unreal Engine 5.5 built game embraces chaotic co-op horror, with procedurally generated routes, smart monster AI, and shifting environments that turn every delivery into a desperate gamble. The standout feature? The dead remember. When you return, you know the team's habits, hiding spots, and plans, and you'll use that knowledge against them. With a free-look camera that intensifies every chase, every wrong turn can become a death sentence.
Goodbye, friend! Whoa! Oh! Okay, dead. It's coming! It's coming!
Oh, there's an enemy coming up towards you. What?
Oh my god! Whoa! Whoa!
What the shit?
Come back to me!
Sleep Awake traps you in a dystopian nightmare where rest is deadly. You play as Katya, one of the last survivors in a decaying city ruled by the Hush, a horrifying phenomenon that causes people to vanish the moment they fall asleep. To stay alive, you must push your mind and body to the brink, confronting deranged death cults, navigating surreal hallucinations, and piecing together the origins of this living dreamscape. The game weaves FMV-driven sequences with rich 3D exploration, creating a disorienting blend of digital reality and filmed madness. Scored by 9 Inch Nails' Robin Fink, the sound design pulses with hypnotic dread. Developed by Eyes Out and published by Blumhouse Games, Sleep Awake doesn't just explore horror, it immerses you in the physical toll of insomnia, terror, and unraveling sanity.
Awake!
Resisting the inevitable.
Perfectly natural.
alone, waterlogged and confused, on the shores of a remote island that hums with unnatural silence. Ritual Tides invites you into a world where folk horror and cosmic dread merge into one suffocating reality. Created by Vert Paint Studios, a team of veterans from Rockstar and TT Games, the game immerses you in eerie rituals, strange coastal villages, and creeping madness. The island is alive with secrets, twisting trees that whisper, old shrines that bleed, and inhabitants who've long surrendered to the darkness. With a visual style that mimics unsettling sketchbook illustrations come to life, every frame feels uncanny, every shadow slightly off. Expect light puzzles, disturbing exploration, and encounters with things you're not meant to understand.
Faithful ones, the garden must still be tended. And tonight, you will be sown!
You wake up alone deep within a forgotten Japanese forest cloaked in thick, suffocating mist. No name, no memory, just a flickering flashlight and the whisper of something watching. Whispers in the Fog isn't just a psychological horror game, it's a descent into the unknown, where every step forward could lead to revelation or ruin. Crafted entirely by solo developer Pasquale Scianti in Unreal Engine 5, the game blurs the line between nightmare and reality. Volumetric fog slithers through derelict asylums, crumbling villages, and haunted crypts, while dynamic lighting dances around you like a trickster spirit. The whispers you hear aren't just creepy background noise, they're guides, or deceivers. Dark Mass invites you into the crushing silence of the deep sea, and then shatters it with terror. You play as Alice, a deep-sea explorer on a mission with her brother Reed to investigate the aftermath of a mysterious underwater quake. But instead of broken stone and lifeless wreckage, you discover something far more disturbing. A perfectly preserved sunken manor, untouched by time, encased in black water and ancient sorrow. The silence down here isn't peaceful, it's predatory. Every creak of a floorboard beneath the ocean, every echoing heartbeat reminds you that something unnatural waits in the dark. Developed by Path Games, the title uses Unreal Engine 5's physics to bring claustrophobic dread to life. Navigation is slow, movement feels heavy, and oxygen is more precious than bullets.
I think I'm not alone down here. I've never seen anything like this before.
Vicious Red drops you into a nightmare above the stars, an abandoned Soviet-era space station infested with something far worse than isolation. As an ordinary crew member stranded among flickering lights and metal corridors, you begin to realize the virus that tore this place apart isn't just contagious, it's evolving. Kill a creature and you might see it rise again, twisted into something more horrific than before. In Dead Take, you're not just chasing answers. You're unraveling a twisted illusion of Hollywood's darkest secrets. You step into the shoes of Chase Lowry, an up-and-coming actor whose best friend, Vinny, vanishes after a high-profile party in the hills. What starts as a personal search turns into a descent into a luxurious mansion filled with rot, silence, and flickering lies. As Chase, you'll piece together corrupted video footage, solve intricate environmental puzzles, and uncover a truth that goes far deeper than missing persons. The game uses a unique blend of FMV performances and in-engine exploration, amplified by a stellar voice cast including Neil Newbin, Laura Bailey, Ben Starr, and even Sam Lake. It's a cerebral thriller with an emotional heart, one that asks what's real, what's staged, and what's been buried beneath the glamour.
You were not always like this.
No one tells you how fucking hard it is, things you'll have to sacrifice.
This is me taking my shot.
Genius Duke Kane.
Are you trying to fuck up my
career!
Please tell me that you were not always...
Horror Tales Eats the World strips you of power, sight, and certainty. Experienced entirely through a disturbingly realistic body cam perspective, you traverse a surreal horror anthology that moves from ancient ruins to derelict space stations, fog-drenched forests to forgotten temples. Your microphone becomes a weapon against yourself. With each cassette you collect, you enter a new nightmare, a fresh tale of supernatural horror that feels intimate, raw, and terrifyingly unpredictable. The developers are promising a growing experience, with regular expansions introducing new locations like Giza's pyramids or Cambodian temples.